Hey, it is First Friday. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. What a whirlwind of a day it's been. I was in Houston this morning and a little bit this afternoon. Got back just in time. Fortunately, my brother Scott is here to help me out tonight. Yes. And we pulled things together very, very quickly, but we do have a really good show for you and a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. So thank you for tuning in. I just want to give a shout out to Sean from Geeksvana, Gene Fox from Green Mountain Droning, Joe Blaylock, Sam Burns, Matt Cundiff, Sunrise Water Media, Chris in the house. We got Tater Rogers. Hey, Tater, I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you, buddy. Artco Drone Solutions, Mike B, a.k.a. the Drone Ranger, Sam Burns. I already said Sam. I thought I saw Brad in here a little while ago. Michael Wright is in here. And you know what? I'm going to give a shout out to whoever was first. It looks like Brad Alston and Copper State Ariel and Sam Burns and Matt Cundiff and Gene were some of the first people in. Like last week, I gave a whole bunch of shout outs, but I did not mention who was first in the chat. So thank you guys for joining. If you do notice, people have cool little icons next to their names. Those emojis are things you can do if you're part of the flight crew. So if you want to join the flight crew, there's a button somewhere in there that says join, and you can become part of the flight crew, and you get those little emojis that you can use. Most of the flight crew have t-shirts. I know there's a few folks in the flight crew I haven't got t-shirts to yet. I'm running low on inventory at the moment, but I'm going to get more printed because I need to get them out to the new flight crew members. And just want to say thanks to you guys. It's very much appreciated how much you support Ready Set Drone, this channel, etc. But tonight we're going to talk about a few things. First of all, we're going to check in with Philip from the road. He's been having a little bit of drama with his trailer or his RV that he hauls behind. There's been all kinds of issues, but I think he's getting that squared away. We're going to see what he's been up to. We are also going to check in about SpinUp, talk a little bit about some updates on SpinUp, and I'm going to tell you who the speakers I've got booked so far are, so you're going to want to stay tuned for that if you're interested, if you're coming to SpinUp and you want to know who the speakers are. I haven't put them out on the website, but I'll do that tomorrow. I wanted to announce them here first for all you guys watching First Friday, and also tell you who the speakers sponsors are as well. And then I want to talk a little bit about the trust thing on the FAA. I'm curious what folks out there who are recreational pilots think about it. And talk to Philip, see what he thinks about it a little bit, because it is an interesting thing that's come up fairly recently. If you guys don't know what that is, we'll talk about it in just a few minutes. We have an episode of 2 Minutes of Hope that we're going to play towards the end of the show. I'm always excited about that. It's a good one. You'll want to stick around for that. And then, of course, Subscriber of the Month. Always want to give a big shout out to the folks who really are supportive of the channel and the entire community. Subscriber of the Month is someone that I have just watched be not only in my own chats, but in all kinds of other chats, supporting all the live streams that go on. And we've got pretty much any night of the week, if you want to watch a live stream about drones, you can do it. But you guys are here on Friday with me. I really appreciate it. And I will say too, at the end of this, which we should wrap up close to 8 o'clock, it's always good if you can jump over to Oz by Drone and check his out after this one's over. And then, yeah, I mean, lots and lots of stuff going on tonight. So First of all, let's go ahead and see if we can get Philip here on the old interweb. Philip, are you there?
I was muted. Sorry. I am here.
Okay, that was on your end. Good to see you, man. I like that shirt. So you are currently not in an RV. Where are you?
So actually, I know what you're getting at, but we do have the RV back.
Oh, you
I'm
do.
just at a friend's house in Ohio. So do we, I don't think that everyone knows what's been going on, so I can give a quick summary if that's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. As a matter of fact, I have the tire rolling video. If you want to check it out, should we play that real quick?
Well,
Is that
that's
how it all
unrelated to
started?
this. No, no. That was just a cool video I sent you. But it was related to a tire. So what happened was the tread on my tire delaminated. The tire did not blow, but the tread literally came off. So I was just running on steel. That's all my tire was, and it held the air, which was interesting. But we didn't find out the reason why the tire detreaded until about a week after when we had someone come out and check it out. And the reason why it detreaded was because the suspension on the left side, primarily I guess the right side, the passenger side primarily, had basically given out to the point where it wasn't actually holding the weight of the trailer anymore.
Oh,
So
so it was
it was
rubbing
causing the
against it,
tire,
like kind of
yeah, it was
just.
causing the tire to rub into the subfloor of the RV, made it all the way almost up to the top layer of flooring, like it went through all the styrofoam and stuff. And
Oh,
that's what caused the tire to delaminate because it was just getting so hot that it
lots of friction.
delaminated. Um, we found out that part of the problem was that the hanger, which is what the leaf spring hangs onto, right, actually bent to the side. So that's part of what was causing it to ride higher. And I think the leaf spring suspension need to be replaced as well. We don't know why. Um, because of COVID and I guess logistics issues still, the parts for the suspension took 2 weeks to get in.
Oh,
And
geez.
there was a lot of confusion for which parts we needed and which parts we were getting. At one point, I had driven 7 hours to get to northern Indiana to pick up the axles, which we thought we were supposed to be getting. But it turns out that instead of axles, we were just getting axle part kit, which they could have overnighted. So I
Oh.
was going up to go myself so I could get it in less than 3 to 5 days. But in actuality, it was something they could have overnighted themselves. So
So
we
it
made
took
a
you
trip up
almost
there
as
for no
long.
reason.
And just real quick,
Um,
for anyone who's new to this show, Philip has been on the show pretty consistently for about 2 years now, I think, a year and a half. And he originally lived in Austin, but actually he and his wife sold all their stuff and, well, a lot of their stuff, bought an RV, and basically now live from the road. And that was kind of, you guys started that before COVID, but it kind of worked out well, with everybody working at home and stuff, right? Um,
Yeah. And
so
actually, that we've been on the road for 1.5 years. I've been your friend for probably 2.5 or 3. We've been working together on stuff. So
yeah, yeah.
you
I mean, there's lots
don't
of.
don't undersell me.
No, no, no. It just, time flies when you're having fun, right? And
Yeah.
but I just wanted everybody to know why we're talking about this. But bringing it back to the theme of this show, which is hockey helmets and soccer balls and rollers and flags. No,
You
it's
do lots of
drones.
stuff, but drones, yeah.
Bringing it back to the theme of the show is that Philip, first of all, is has been flying drones for quite some time, and second of all, gets to fly in lots of really cool spots. He got to fly um, out in Silver City, New Mexico, with Doc Murdoch, which was pretty cool. Like a month or two ago.
Yeah.
You've what are some of the other highlights of your trip as far as like visual stuff, flying and drone stuff you've done?
Honestly, I think the footage I got from Big Ben's, maybe it's because I was being a little bit naughty and I started outside the national park at the very edge and flew in a little bit. But that ravine area with canyons and stuff and the view of the Rio Grande, that's probably some of the best footage I have for sure.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's
And I mean, there's been some other cool West Texas footage I've gotten as well. West Texas is a really cool area.
so one other question about all that, because you're now back east. You're up in Ohio. Would you say you prefer the sort of desert southwest area, or would you say you're more a fan of trees and hills and stuff like that in the east?
I think overall I'm a fan of chasing warm weather, and that would typically, if I'm ever going to settle down, that would basically mean having two houses, one for winter, one for summer. So I think what we're looking at right now is for winter, it's either Florida or Texas. West Texas is a big contender because it's a bunch of big open area. There's a lot of room for property if we wanted it, but it's also really dry and hot. But what we're looking at north right now is up in Michigan, possibly near the Upper Peninsula,
Oh
but
wow.
somewhere on a lake up in Michigan. That would be our summer house that we're looking at. Or yeah, summer house. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. All right. All right. And so would you sell the RV and then just like dual live in both places?
So I don't know if you know this, but I'm not rich. So we're probably
Well,
gonna
you're
start
talking
off with
about a
one
summer house,
house.
so
We're gonna start off with one house part time, and then once we have enough funds accrued to get the second house, probably like 5 or 10 years apart at least. But the idea is when we're not using it, we're gonna rent it out, so it's gonna be additional income, and
yeah, yeah.
hopefully it's in a nice enough area that people will want to rent it.
That's right. All the drone community could go stay at his house on the Upper Peninsula in Michigan. Lots of good droning to happen up there. Just want to say hey to I saw uh, Chris Hope in the chat there. So hey, Chris and Ray Kelly, Captain Ray, good to see you as well. As far as the stuff that's been going on with drone stuff, I don't think you've probably flown very much recently, given your current predicament with not having your RV. Is that right?
Yeah, so basically we had to keep Butters with us all the time because you can't just leave her in a hotel room, which is where we've been staying primarily. So flying drones wasn't too much of an option. That and it's kind of just mentally demoralizing to be stuck in a hotel, which is basically what happens. So it's kind of like you just get into a slum where you don't want to do anything because you can't really do anything.
Yeah, yeah. I got stuck when snowpocalypse hit Texas back in February. I was stuck in Denver where it was snowing as well, but everybody up there, the power was on. Everybody was fine with it, because they know how to deal with it. Texas doesn't. But yeah, I was in a hotel for about a week and just kind of like, oh man, this is killing me. I know that feeling. So, what do you know about the FAA's trust stuff that's just come out?
So that is the recreational test, right?
Yep.
I haven't heard too much about it. I know that they're looking for test administrators right now, which is probably going to be like the two main people that do tests, which is like
I think
Pearson and
I think they have certified a few of the online, like the I don't know if Remote Pilot 101 of it is one of the certified test administrators, but I know that it's the one I get ads for all the time. The guy that sounds like he's yeah, the Remote Pilot
oh
Institute. Do you
yeah.
own a drone? Do you want to make money with your drone? Then you should watch our classes because we will teach you how to make money with your drone. I think they're an official thing. I don't dislike the guy, and I'm kind of making fun of him, but their ads are kind of obnoxious. But they did stick in
You're
my
not
head,
wrong.
huh?
I said you're not wrong. They are obnoxious.
Have you've seen them,
Yeah,
right?
I have. I regrettably, I try to block it out, but it's
Do you
there.
own a drone?
Um,
Somebody should meme this. Where Chris Waters, are
no,
you
it's
watching?
it's it's very similar to those commercials. It's like, do you like technology? Check out this solar panel powered battery pack. We're
Yeah.
a veteran owned company. And it's really not. It's just some guy who's just drop shipping from China.
Zebmeet
Anyway,
says that trust is very easy. And from what I understand about it is very easy. Basically, they give you the entire, they tell you all the things you need to know, and then you take the test. And then if you miss a question, then you actually can just go back and redo it. I mean, you basically can't fail. They just prompt you until you get it right. But there was one thing on the FAA's website that I thought was really interesting, and this is what I am curious about. It said that when you pass the test, you'll receive a certificate, is what it said, and the certificate doesn't expire. It's it's good forever, which is kind of like the Part 107. It doesn't. The actual certificate doesn't expire. You just have to re-up every 2 years. But the certificate doesn't expire. But it said if you lose the certificate, you have to retake the test to get another one. And that makes me wonder: is it something you just print out on your computer, or is it something? Brad put in a link to it on the FAA's website. But what I'm curious about is it something you can just print out on your computer when you after you pass it, and you can just print it again and again, or is it something they actually send you, like an embossed kind of thing or a little card or something? That's what I'd be curious if anybody knows.
With the amount that they're going to have to be processing, I'd have to say it's probably something you print at home. But with the fact, like you said, with the fact that they said that you have to, take the test again to get another one, then it kind of begs the question: is it actually something physical? I would think. Is there a cost for this test? I don't think I've heard that or not.
So Joe Blaylock says everyone has to take it, even if you're Part 107, if you're flying recreationally. Huh.
That's interesting.
I thought if you had your Part 107. So Brad says you print it out. So I guess the question is, why wouldn't you just print it out, 3 copies and keep one in your drawer or something in case you lose it?
Well, if you lose a PDF or whatever that you saved,
I wonder if it has your name and the time, So Bill is saying that you printed at the time you passed. So okay, it's just a piece of paper with a serial number. Okay, and I guess it does have a serial number on it, so it is a unique identifier to say that you actually, it's not just a generic thing that you could share with somebody theoretically. Now, if you showed it to law enforcement, probably the FAA, they could look it up, but if you showed it to law enforcement, they're probably not going to know. But anyway, overall, my opinion, I think it's a good idea, and it's just because there are people who don't know any of the basic laws. They buy a drone, they don't watch any of these shows, they don't watch YouTube, they don't pay attention, and they literally just go out and start doing stuff with it and truly are ignorant of the fact that you can't do certain things with your drone. And so this, theoretically, once enough people know about it, is going to get people to understand just the most basic things, the most basic safety things. Is this the right way to implement it? Well, I suppose. I mean, the FAA seems like the organization that should be in charge of it. I don't know. Is it okay to force people to take it? Maybe. Kind of like a driver's license test or a permit? What do you think, Philip?
So here's the thing, right? If they're having issues educating people on drones in the first place, educating someone that they need to take a test is also going to be a problem. In general, there are a lot of people who don't know anything about drones, who just got a drone as a friend, or who just bought like even a $10 one that you still have to register, but they're just flying it around for fun. They don't know anything about drones or what you can and can't do with it legally or anything like that. So in general, I think education is a good idea. If it's not a difficult test, like if it's not the 107, I don't see any problem with requiring people to take a test, especially if it's free or super cheap. But at the same time, I don't think it's actually going to be fixing any problems.
Bill says if you don't watch this show, then screw him. I appreciate that.
This could be seen as a logical fallacy because the slippery slope is technically a logical fallacy in some situations. But I would argue this is a slippery slope to the point where, once you give them an inch, they might take a mile, and they might extend, the requirements of this test, make it more difficult, make it harder to get, and in general, restrict the hobby from recreational people. So I think that there's an argument to be said that it might be opening a door that we don't want to open.
Yeah. No, I mean, it kind of depends on how well they can. I mean, it's kind of a marketing skill, right? Is getting people to want to take it and understand the value of it, and then make it as easy as possible for people to log on and take it, right? And so I don't think there's a fee for it. I'm curious if anybody knows if there is a fee to do it. It sounds like Brad might have already. Brad said he sent me mine by text, or sent me his by text, so I might be able to take a look at it. But in the meantime, hold on. my text isn't working. I don't know. I'm having some technical issues with other stuff. Not the live stream, thank God, but my phone is giving me some grief. But we do have someone here, a special guest who might be able to help us out. It's Ready Set Drone's legal scholar. Let's welcome him in here. He's been hanging out over there on the side. It's Chris Waters from Sunrise Water Media.
Hey, Kelly. Hey, Philip.
How's it going?
Pretty well. I actually took the trust test last week.
Yeah?
So, yeah, it's free and you can't fail. You get 100% every time.
Nice. So you got 100 on it.
I got 100.
You're an ace.
Yeah.
And then what did you print out, or what's the?
So they just give you a PDF with like a two-sided card that you can stick together. It gives your number and your name and just the fact that you passed on this
Oh, okay.
day.
So it's not a generic card. I mean, it
No.
it actually has your name and a unique number on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a few people. Brad mentioned he had taken it, and you know that's actually to me, like, I know for me my Part 107 card, I actually am really proud of it. You know,
Yeah.
it's a cool little card too. I
Yeah.
wish, you know, it would be cooler if you got something like that for the trust test, but
Right.
it's all about how much you're investing, right? If you're just taking the trust test, you're not really investing the time to study like you are for the Part 107, so you don't get the cool card. But all of that said, yeah, and JSK Enterprise says it's free, so it didn't cost anything, huh?
Correct.
And so somebody said, and I don't think Philip knew this, or I don't know if you knew it. Do you have to do it if you have your Part 107 as well?
Yes, you have to do it. If you have your Part 107 and you're flying recreationally,
Okay.
then you have to do it.
Which is 90% of the time for me. So
Yeah.
Okay.
And-
I guess I'll do it tonight.
And the test is laid out really well. You kind of do a quick little study, and then there's 4 quizzes with like 5 questions per quiz.
How long did it take you to complete?
5 minutes.
Oh,
They say it might take you 20 minutes or something, but it's really easy.
if you're dumb.
But
If
were
you
you gonna
think
say,
about it,
Phil?
that does make sense. Because with your Part 107, if you're not flying underneath that, you're flying underneath the recreational guidelines, which requires this now. So it does make sense that you have to get it.
Well, Chris has been pretty busy recently. I don't know if you saw this, Philip, but Chris had a little accident with somebody else's equipment. Do you know about that, Philip? Is word
I
gotten
do
to you?
not.
It's not
I
mine.
got a feeling that.
No, it's not mine.
Got a feeling you have a video.
No, well, so there is a video on his channel. By the way, let me just say real quick, if you don't follow Outdoorish on Instagram, go to Instagram and type in Outdoorish. It's a very good Instagram if you're into that. And then if you don't follow Sunrise Water Media on YouTube, go do that right now, because he has been killing it with the remixes and the original music scores. And then this video, which we don't have to play. We were going to play it, but it's pretty long, and we'd rather you just go watch it on their channel after the show's over. What is it all about? What happened?
So it all started with my drone just falling apart in the air. I was flying, and the motor came off.
I hate when that happens.
So that was the beginning of the bad luck.
Okay.
So I got a new motor, fixed it up, went to a meetup with Kai and a few other people, Ben T.
Yep.
I was testing out my quad. Everything was working really well. And then I lost video feed. I got interference. I couldn't see anything for a second. I had to disarm.
And this was your analog. You were using your box goggles?
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
And when I disarmed, I fell to the grass just upright. I thought everything was going to be fine. I walk up to the quad, and it's on fire. And the arm is broken, and the ESC is toast. It's a disaster. So I couldn't fly anymore at that meetup. So then I asked Kai if I could borrow his quad.
His not Tyro.
He wouldn't.
Titan.
No, he didn't let me fly his Titan, but a smaller quad.
Okay.
So I flew that, and I was very careful flying that quad. I landed it. I was really proud of not crashing. I set his goggles on the chair. I set the controller on the chair.
The goggles face down,
Face down.
so you didn't get the sun
Exactly.
burn marks. Okay.
And then I turned away to get the drone, and I didn't notice that the lanyard had caught on my shoe.
On your shoe.
Yeah.
Ah.
So as I stepped away, you can kind of imagine what happened. The lanyard attached to the controller made the controller just fly off, smash into the ground. Everything was dangling off the controller. I turn around, and there's Kai. Kai is 7 feet tall.
He is.
And he's staring at me like, what have you done?
And he's German.
So I walk up to him, and, well, yeah. You can see the video for details.
So this was literally a bad twist of fate where Chris had this incident. And Kai, Kai does like to razz us a bit. He does like to kind of dish it out a little bit, and he can take it as well. But and I don't know if he's in the chat right. Oh, there he is. Lone Star UAV. He says he punted it down the field. So then what happened?
Well, I was lucky that the controller didn't actually break, even though it looked as if it was broken. He put it back together, but he
did it work?
Yeah, it works.
Oh.
But what I didn't know at the time was someone else was flying their drone, and they got footage of me doing this. So now that's on the internet. And Kai played it on his live stream today.
It never goes away, too. All your fails are always on the internet. I mean, yeah, man. Well, are you doing okay?
He said he'll forgive me, but he'll never forget.
You need a hug?
Maybe eventually.
Okay, all right. We'll chalk that up for later. But
okay.
No. So first of all, guys, just gonna say that both Chris and Kai, I've gone down and done the meetup with them many times, and this is the kind of stuff that happens when I don't go to the meetup, right? It's like leaving your kids unattended. You get all this stuff going on. They are both going to be at SpinUp, so you'll get a chance to meet them in person if you come. Philip, can we bring him back on there for a second? Philip, are you going to be down Texas way in November 6th?
I'm going to be in Florida.
Florida?
It's going to be quite a trek. Yeah, if I can make it, it's going to be quite a trek. But I will be in Florida. Yeah.
Ah, man, what's happening in Florida on November 6th? That's just your goal to get there before it gets cold?
So we're going to be in the Florida Keys for basically a month in December/January. So basically just hanging out in there for the winter and staying warm.
Okay. All right. I see how it is. So I feel like I've broken your stuff before, Philip, and you're a pretty big guy. Maybe I've crashed into you with the Xeno at times or whatever. What's the best etiquette for, when someone crashes your drone or drops your controller or something? What do you think should happen?
I think in general, if you did any damage or if you broke something, you should offer to pay for it. Typically, yeah. I think people will not accept your offer. Like, oh man, this is my fault. I let you use it.
I knew you were an idiot. I shouldn't have let you do that.
They'll probably not let you borrow it again, but general etiquette is to offer to pay for it, even if you don't think that you broke it. Like if you bent a propeller and it bent back or whatever, offer to replace it. That's generally what I would say, and profusely apologize.
Yeah. No. I mean, that's the beauty of this community. I think in most cases, everybody's pretty chill about that sort of thing. And I gotta think that Kai is probably getting some good mileage out of this on his channel, as are you, right? I mean, even though that's the thing is when you have a drone catch fire or a drone crash into another drone or anything like that, you always got to think about it in terms of potential views, right? That's like, oh man, people love that stuff. So we're gonna take these lemons that just happened and make lemonade out of it. Kai's saying it's fun to watch you squirm.
He was having too much fun the past few weeks.
Yeah. Well, guys, I will say too that this guy here has put a lot of coins in the karma jar as far as this community goes. So we'll cut him a little bit of slack. Those of you who watched last week, Philip, I don't know, did you have a chance to see my speed dial show last week with Christian?
My life has been a mess. I was not able to.
Ah, goodness. I think Chris did though, right? You saw Christian?
Yeah.
So Christian Malika, he has this book called FPV Flight Dynamics, and it is truly. I've been looking at it more, and I say looking at it because you read it, but there's so many diagrams and pictures to look at, and like things where he breaks down different maneuvers and how they work, and where you want to turn to make a certain maneuver if you're doing aerobatic or freestyle flying. That I've been looking at it a lot over the past week since he was on the show. And all of that said, I have a big announcement. Because I was so enthralled with it, and for those of you that saw him on the show last week, Christian, he actually is going to speak at SpinUp. So he's going to be one of our speakers. I'm about to tell you guys several of them. And I'm trying to balance it out kind of 50-50 between FPV content, camera drone pilot content, and then some things that are sort of ancillary. But I'm super excited. I mean, we'll get to meet him in person if you come to SpinUp. By the way, I'm going to mention that the first batch of SpinUp tickets are sold out, which is awesome. Thanks to everyone who bought early. The second batch are on sale right now. They are on sale. They have a limited number, but then they're also on sale until the end of July. And then once they're sold out, or even if they don't sell out, they will expire. Basically, if you don't buy it by the end of July, then you have to buy batch 3, and batch 3 goes up a little bit more in price. So batch 1 was the least expensive, batch 2 is the second, and batch 3 is, it's $40 more basically. And really, I'm trying to reward people for buying early, because having a fairly accurate head count early on is so helpful. It's great when people decide to come at the last minute, but it also is a little bit harder to produce the show. So therefore, if you buy the tickets earlier, it's a little bit better for me. Chris understands, I think.
Yeah.
He says he does. He says, I get that, Kelly. That's okay. So for anyone who's in the audience right now, I know a lot of folks that I've already talked to and seen did buy tickets. A lot of the folks that are watching tonight. But so I just kind of wanted to run through some of the updates on SpinUp. Number one, still DJI is a sponsor. We'll be giving away a lot of DJI stuff at the show. I'm really trying to push them this year to up that game a little bit and possibly get a speaker from DJI to speak. I don't have that confirmed yet, but it's something I'm working on. I do have, though, Emacs USA, which makes the Tiny Hawks, is actually going to be a speaker as well. And by the way, I see the Four-Eyed Canine. Thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate that. We got to hang out in Colorado at Spin Down last year. That was really cool. But back to Emacs, Cornell, who is the marketing person for Emacs USA, is going to speak. He's trying to come to Austin, but if he can't, he'll speak remotely. But I think most of our speakers are going to be in person. And he's actually got some of their pilots and developers that are also going to put some content together for us. So they're going to be a sponsor for giveaways, but they're also going to be a sponsor for providing content at the show. I mean, Philip and Chris, you guys both have flown Emacs drones, right? I mean, Philip, have you ever flown a Emacs, like a Tiny Hawk or anything? No? You're muted again.
Sorry, I don't think I have, no.
No? Well, Chris, you've flown it. What's your thought on Emacs as a starting point for FPV?
Well, since that's how I started, I feel like that's all I know. But I think it was a great way to start with the Tiny Hawk Freestyle too.
And actually, Scott has a Tiny Hawk Freestyle as well. So Emacs, really big thank you to them and shout out to them, because they have been supportive of SpinUp for a number of years now, and especially last year they gave away 2 of each type of drone that they make, of the Tiny Hawk, the Tiny Hawk 2, the Tiny Hawk Freestyle, and I think the little what is the one called, the beginner one,
It's not the S, is it?
No, the S is the older one. They don't make that anymore. It's the Easy Pilot. The Easy Pilot. Have you ever seen that one?
Don't think so, no.
Philip, did you ever see my Easy Pilot? I think I had it when you were still here. It's interesting because it actually has a function where you can fly with a mix. And actually, I think Tater Rogers ended up with my Easy Pilot. Hey, and Ben T, thank you for the super chat. He flies a Tiny Hawk 2 and a Tiny Hawk Freestyle 2. And also, I think Ben T has some Gep RC. I think he has the baby crocodile, or crocodile baby. But the Easy Pilot is one. Yeah, Tater, remind me if you have the Easy Pilot, because I thought I sent that. Yeah, okay, I sent that one to you. You can do the mix where the yaw and the roll and the pitch are all on one stick. So it's kind of an interesting thing where you can the throttle is still the same, but you take off, it holds the flight. But anyway, we're gonna have Cornell from Emacs is going to be a speaker. Christian Malika, like I said, the author of FPV Flight Dynamics. Troy Nguyen, who is the CEO at Quad Standard Labs. Now, Troy has been putting on FPV races in the Austin area for years. He actually used to be a professional chef in a restaurant, and he went by Chef PV. That was his.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know if that's still what he goes by, but he now has Quad Standard Labs. I've been up to their place. It's actually up in Cedar Park. Seems like we got a lot of Cedar Park love in the house tonight. And it is basically a storefront where you can either walk in or you can order a custom drone. So if you want a drone that'll do a certain thing, certain specifications, certain parts, they'll build it for you, they'll test it for you, they'll send it to you. So yeah, it's kind of exciting to have him as a speaker at Quad Standard Labs. Like I said, Christian and Cornell. Elijah May, who is the CEO of Robotters. So Elijah has been in the AI and artificial intelligence and robotics scene for a long, long time, and he actually has done several robotics festivals. So if you're in a robotics club or into building things that are robotic, including drones, Elijah has been in that community for a long time. He's going to be speaking. Jace McCown, who works for Lyft, and you guys have seen Jace before on our channel a couple of times. He's ex-Air Force pilot, helicopter pilot, super cool dude, and works for a manned aircraft company called Lyft, which actually has a giant, and I was trying to figure out what you'd call it earlier. It's got 16 rotors on it, so whatever that would be. It's not a quadcopter. What would that be, Chris?
Four times quad.
Yeah, a quad 4X. But you can actually fly in this thing. And so, my big ask of him would be for them to bring it to the event. That would be super cool, but I don't think that's going to happen. But anyway, he spoke at SpinUp a couple of years ago when he was with a different company doing autonomous landings on moving aircraft carriers for the military. He will be speaking. He's the chief pilot at Lyft. And then the other big one that I'm super excited about is Aldrin Estancia from FlightPath is going to be a speaker. If you guys don't know FlightPath and Aldrin, he is one of the best photographers I know, just generally for photography and videography, but in addition, photography and videography in the drone world. Philip, you remember Aldrin, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and were you there? Were you there the first year when he gave his presentation at the Dell? Were you at the Dell Diamond? You were at the Dell Diamond.
I was there for the first year.
Yeah.
I crashed my original Mavic 2 Pros there. I think it was
at the Dell
I crashed
Diamond?
into the net.
Nice.
Yeah.
Classy. Ed Ricker crashed his into the scoreboard at one point. I think that's why we've never been invited back. But yeah,
well,
Aldrin's
no one
going to be
saw
there.
my net disaster.
I will also say that I know several YouTube folks. I mean, a lot of YouTube folks in the community will be there, but I know that Ken Herron's coming. I know that Billy Kyle is coming. I know that Sean Oz will be there. I'm pretty sure Ed Ricker's coming. He told me if he can make it, he'll be there. Chris Rollins is coming. We've got a really good group of pretty well-known YouTubers that'll be there. So if you want to meet these folks, this will be your opportunity. So go out and buy yourself a ticket to SpinUp.
Yeah.
And these guys, well, I don't know about Philip, but Chris Waters will be there. And when Chris Waters is there, it's a party. Everybody should know that.
No one wants to meet me anyway, so it's okay.
You're the guy. You're like the background guy. The one that. Actually, I always refer to Philip as my sidekick. So, and you're okay with that, right? You don't mind?
As long as you don't call me your side piece, because I know that you're older, but that has a different meaning than what you might think.
Well, yeah. I'm not going to call you that. So, all of that said, I've got more stuff coming about SpinUp. I need to put all these pictures on the website. I am looking at a few other people to come speak. One thing we're also looking at doing is having some contests there, some little tiny whoop races, some other drone type contests where you can win prizes. And of course, because Emacs and DJI and possibly Quad Standard Labs will be giving stuff away, we will be giving away quite a bit of drone things for the participants. Of course, if you can't come, Philip, you can watch it on YouTube. It'll be playing. It's free to watch. And, you know, that'll be a good way to get involved as well.
I think people want to meet Butters, so if I can come, is Butters invited as well?
Oh yeah, as long as we can make sure Butters isn't Barky Butters. I like Waggy Butters, but Barky Butters is a little much.
She's always a little bit barky.
She is a little barky, yeah, but that's all right. We can get that sorted out. She could stand outside the window because this place has windows out to the outside that she could be in. So. All of that said, I do hope people can make it in person, and if you can't make it in person, you can watch it on YouTube. Philip, as I said, it's been there before. Chris, this will be your first time at SpinUp, right?
Right.
Although I think last year you were the person who nearly won the SpinUp Remix contest.
So close.
Yeah, but hey, you still got a cool Mavic 2 Zoom out of the whole deal. So switching gears a little bit, if you guys don't already know Chris Hope, he is in the audience tonight. At least I saw him earlier. One of my favorite people, one of my favorite Texans, and he puts together a segment that we play each month. He's done it again. I checked it out, and it's very cool. So let's check out 2 minutes of hope from Chris Hope.
Hey everybody, a little something different. I'm in the Young County Courthouse here in Graham, Texas. Thought I'd take y'all on a little old tour around this old thing. Pretty cool old courthouse. We'll walk around it, look at a few things. Courthouses in Texas, probably 90% of them are unique. Every one of them's got their own Art Deco, their own features, and all their own stories. So come go with me. We'll take a little stroll around here and get a few shots for 2 minutes of hope. Here's a picture. It's in the side of the courthouse. Old farmer pulling a plow out in the fields. Here we have an old cowboy drinking his coffee around a campfire and his bedroll with his saddle for a pillow. This is some metal art that's up here on the square. One thing the city didn't do is take up all the old red brick. They still got red bricks for the street. Graham has the biggest square in America, according to Wikipedia. It's pretty good size, about a mile around, they say. This is downtown Graham. This is the courthouse square. It's more of the square. A good old-fashioned gazebo. I think I'll go sit down for a second. Thank y'all for going along with me around this old courthouse. I sure appreciate it. And until next month, y'all take care. We'll catch y'all then. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Hey, if you don't already subscribe to Chris Hope's channel, you need to go over there and do it. This guy, he's a historian. He is a pillar of the drone community. You've met Chris Hope before. Yeah, just
Awesome guy.
You couldn't ask for somebody who's more supportive, giving, and has some fun putting these videos together. That one was all about a courthouse. I have to say, and Philip, maybe since you've been traveling, you can talk to this. Courthouses in Texas are actually pretty cool. I mean, they're something that you see, but they're pretty common around the rest of the country too, right? Have you seen a lot of cool courthouses on your travels?
I was gonna say, I don't think the cool courthouse is exclusive to Texas because they're everywhere. In general, they always have like an old timey feel to them, which is kind of cool. And I don't know. They all have a similar look and feel. So once you see enough of them, you kind of get tired of them. But I'm to the point where I'm tired of them, but I can see how people can still appreciate them for the most part. Yeah.
Well, I mean, some of that artwork is from like the, early 1900s, late 1800s. But I think also what's really cool for me, when I'm driving somewhere and you're on the highway, you think you're seeing the town. It'll say, Goodlettsville, Tennessee, up ahead. And so you drive through the highway, you drive in the highway and you're looking at Goodlettsville, Tennessee. And, it looks like a bunch of chain restaurants and Best Buys and Home Depots and whatever right off the highway. But where you really get to see the city's personality is when you pull off the highway, you go 2 or 3 miles away from the highway, and then you get to the city center, and that's where the character of the town is. That's what I think Chris did a good job of capturing in that video. Where did you grow up in Austin?
I did, yeah.
Okay. So have you been to any cool small towns with courthouses?
No, I can't say that I have. Just
Never?
Nope. No,
Wow. All right. Well, we need to run out to like Sealy or Burnett or one of these little Johnson City. Yeah. I mean, there's lots of cool towns with courthouses.
I feel like Fredericksburg has a pretty cool one.
Yeah. Well, the thing that was cool about that one that Chris was just showing was the size of the town square was like a mile around, which is actually pretty huge. Anyway, and Lone Star UAV is saying next meetup on the 17th at 9 a.m. So if anybody is in the Texas area and wants to come meet up with us to fly on the 17th, that will be in New Braunfels. Kind of just, is it actually in New Braunfels?
Canyon Lake,
Texas. So between Austin and San Antonio, it's a really great spot to fly. Don't let Chris borrow your stuff because he'll break it. Don't fly while Kai is flying because he'll crash into your drone. It's happened, both those things.
Yep.
So anyway, wanted to also just play another quick video. It's only a minute long, but it's a video that Captain Ray Kelly sent to me about 2 months ago. And I think I didn't play it 2 months ago because I don't know. I've had some problems with my consistency on these shows. I'm trying to get better at it, but I didn't get to play it a little while back. But I thought it was pretty cool because it is a giant sombrero, and it is actually in Florida. So maybe you'll get to check it out while you're there, Philip. Let's check out the giant sombrero from Captain Ray Kelly. Fiesta. Thank you to Ray Kelly for sending that. Sorry it took me a little while to play it, but I had just I actually had it queued up to play last month, and then I don't think I remembered during the show. So again, apologies, but thank you for that. That's one of those things that you can only see with a drone, right? A giant sombrero way up in the air. Part of the reason Oh, go ahead.
I feel like that's kind of cheating because most of the world's biggest stuff is on the ground. And I mean, it's not even really a sombrero. It's just an observation tower shaped like a sombrero.
This is true.
So,
well, it is a sombrero to the tower part, right? It's a hat that goes on top. I mean, it's kind of like Canada is the U.S.'s sombrero, even though
I'm just saying it's a little bit cheaty compared to the other world's biggest stuff.
Okay. All right. Well, if you ever are in Terre Haute, Indiana, you can go see the world's biggest rocking chair because they have that there. And I've driven past it. I think there's a Dairy Queen next to it or something too. So there always is. Part of the reason that I mentioned that video or played that video is because Matt Cundiff and Captain Ray Kelly were the subscribers of the month last month. I think they're both in the chat, and I want to just say thank you to them. Subscriber of the month is really my way of saying thank you to, excuse me, certain people in the drone community for being so awesome, for being so supportive, and I just, thought of them with that. And so, with all of that said, congrats to all the past subscribers of the month. I wanted to announce the July subscriber of the month. And I guess, Philip, you didn't get a run sheet, so you don't know who it is, huh?
Nope.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. The July 2021 subscriber of the month, who is going to win a package of great, great prizes, is standing right here. Chris Waters.
Really?
Really?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. He didn't know. No, nobody knew. I had that in my head. And I've been thinking about this for a long time. I wanted to have you on camera when I did it, and this was like the perfect night. And so Chris Waters, this dude, again, he came into the scene last year during SpinUp when he wrote that song. I can remember, so I had the Ready, Set, Drone song remix contest, and I can remember getting entries, and there were some great ones. Tater Rogers did an awesome kind of country soul version where he played guitar and sang, and it's a great version. And Dennis Lovelady did a ukulele version that was really awesome. I mean, I got a whole bunch of cool entries, but Chris had this version that was just layers and layers of music. I mean, he took it into Pro Tools or whatever you used and made this amazing song, and I was like, wow, this is awesome. And then the next thing I know, I met him, and then we started hanging out and flying together, and then he started doing some freelance work for me on some projects. I mean, it's just been this whole thing. So what do you think?
I don't know what to say. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. And actually, I think what your prize is going to be, if it depends on if you think this is a good prize or not. But we tried to do some videos together, and you had really, dare I say, SH double hockey sticks, whatever you want to say, microphones. I wanted to give you a Rode Wireless Go microphone. Would that be useful?
That would be amazing.
All
Wow.
right, that's going to be
so
his,
much.
and maybe some more T-shirts. So, anyway, Chris,
Thank
let's
you.
give it up for Chris Waters. Come on, this dude, he is really again one of these guys that is very supportive of the entire drone community. Has been super supportive of me. Has helped me out with so many things. And Kai bullies him, but I think he's a good guy. And so, Chris, thanks for being so awesome, and congrats on being the subscriber of the month.
Thank you, Kelly.
Hey, I see Roosevelt, Fly Natural in the house. Good to see you, man. Eat More Possum in there. Who else is new? Oh, Tropic. Tony's in there. Hey, man. Good to see you, Tony. I saw you got your SpinUp ticket, so that's awesome. Thank you for coming to SpinUp. I can't wait to hang out. Had a good time bowling with all those guys at Spin Down last time. So that's really about it. We're coming up on the hour. I didn't have a whole lot more to go on tonight, but it's worked out well in terms of timing. Philip, any final words before we sign off as far as being on the road or anything?
I was just watching the playback, which is about 20 seconds delayed, and my video froze while I was clapping. So I'm sorry for not clapping for you. I was. It's just the video was frozen.
You didn't just stop? You didn't just stop to be like that? Seems like something you would do. Oh, yeah. Kai's saying he punts my transmitter and I'm the bully. Yes, Kai, you are the bully. That's what part of the burden of being who you are, but we love you anyway. But Chris is the subscriber of the month, so come on, quit talking about yourself and talk about this guy for a minute. Chris, any final thoughts before we sign off for the evening?
Just come to the meetup if you're in Austin. It's a lot of fun. Even if you crash and break other people's stuff, it's still a blast.
That'll be July 17th is what I think I saw. And go to Lone Star UAV for more details. He's got Facebook and he's got, right? He has Facebook presence.
I think the Facebook is like Central Texas Drone Meetup. I think that's what it's called.
Oh, I was also going to say too, even if you're not coming to SpinUp in person, you can join the SpinUp Facebook group. There's a lot of cool stuff going on in there. A lot of people talking about, it's a good place if you are coming to meet up with folks and figure out if you could share like a rental car or when people are getting in, all that sort of logistical stuff. But then B, if you're not coming, it's still a lot of cool people in it posting a lot of cool stuff. So just go to Facebook and look for SpinUp 2021 and you should find it. And it's members only, but I recognize most names in the drone community and will let you in. So thanks. Well, Philip, man, thanks for joining. I'm glad you got your RV back. What do you said you're working on a custom cabinet right now? What are you building?
Yeah, so the bathroom, the countertop was starting to delaminate. There's like a hole in it. So basically we trashed all that. And we got a small cabinet with the sink built in. Nice. And then there's just an empty spot that nothing else will fit in. So I have a friend who does custom cabinets, and we're working on a custom cabinet tonight to fill that spot.
And you actually stopped working on it just to do this?
I did, yeah. And also, I think he's finished with it now, at least the parts we're doing tonight, and then they're playing some games. So I'm still here with you, even though they're playing games without me.
All right, well, go have fun playing some games. Thank you for joining. Chris, thank you for joining. Scott, thank you for pushing the buttons and making everything run. Everybody who popped in tonight, really appreciate it. If you want to keep the drone love going, go check out Oz by Drone. He's doing a show tonight. I think he's got Cold Flake on. And yeah, that's it. I will be back next week with another edition of Speed Dial. I can't even remember who my guest is at this point, but I think I have someone lined up. And I will be shooting more videos and putting them out because I've been really remiss at that lately. But you guys are great. I do this for you. I do it for the fun. I do it for the community. And I do it because it's fun and I love it. So you guys fly safe. Let's go out with the song, with the Ready, Set, Drone song. And everybody turn it up to 11 and rock out.
When I fly, I won't fly alone. I'm gonna fly with Ready, Set, Drone. 'Cause Ready, Set, Drone will always fly with me. Flying fast and flying free. Flying with friends is the life for me. 'Cause Ready, Set, Drone is my community. Goggles and rotors and FPV. Props and motors and ESCs. Gimbals and cameras are what we use to fly. Sharing stories and swapping tales. Amazing triumphs and epic fails. How will you know if you don't ever try? Ready, set, drone, ready, set, drone. Spin up your props and plug in your phone. Fly with us and we think you'll agree. Ready, set, drone, ready, set, drone. What's the point of flying alone? Flying with friends will make you feel so free. When I fly, I won't fly alone. I'm gonna fly with Ready, Set, Drone. 'Cause Ready, Set, Drone will always fly with me. Flying fast and flying free. Flying with friends is the life for me. 'Cause Ready, Set, Drone is my community. Ready, Set, Drone, ready, set, drone. Spin up your props and plug in your phone. Fly with us and we think you'll agree. Ready, set, drone, ready, set, drone. What's the point of flying alone? Flying with friends will make you feel so free. Flying with friends will make you feel so free. Flying with friends will make you feel so free.